Hi guys, so I think we're live, which is good. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday so far. So this week we've been talking about kind of how to improve those conversion rates from your Facebook ad campaigns. And one thing I want to talk about is around sort of the information you're asking for with regards to your lead capture, especially if that's what you're doing. And I just want to step through kind of the impacts and the factors which may impact kind of the quality of the lead and the conversion rate as well. So going through this list here, I think I'll go through them each of them individually and just give my opinion based on my experience in terms of what has worked well. So the first thing is targeting. So targeting, as we know on Facebook, we can target the entire world if we wanted to, and we can target quite broad. We can use interest-based targeting. We can even use lookalike audiences. And I guess your targeting will only get better and kind of refined as and when the campaign kind of gets optimized further. So your targeting will also be key because depending on the type of campaign you run or the hook or offer you use, actually, so I'll put that on there, is going to be pivotal to the type of quality. And so if you're running a competition, for example, there's loads of time wasters on Facebook. There's lots of people who just want to get a freebie. So I think your targeting is going to be key. Your ad copy next is also then important because targeting will only take you so far. So you want to think about kind of taking people through a journey or through a story, if you like, to get to that point. So whether you call people out, I know some people don't think it works, but sometimes calling a certain persona out works, and really talking them through sort of the problem or the opportunity and why they need it. So testing sort of longer ad copy could also work quite well. And obviously, the longer, the better you are with your targeting, and you're then really singling out the persona and the problem you're solving, you can then really get away with asking very little information on the lead form or the landing page, as opposed to asking more later on. So think of that when you're actually pre-framing or trying to target a certain individual. The next is hook or offer. So what is it you're giving away? Is the hook or offer relevant to your target audience, or is it a freebie or an incentive? Whatever it is, just make sure it's relevant and make sure it's really, it needs to be conditional as well. So they should only get it if they say take out a life insurance policy, or they do something that's going to be kind of relevant to you as well. I think once you've kind of got that, you then want to test sort of lead form ads or landing pages. Now, I know there's mixed opinion around sort of which works better. I think it does come down to the preceding points. So how good is your targeting ad copy along with the hook or offer? In my experience and opinion, I'm still on the fence. I haven't seen a clear winner. But sometimes the lead form ads, it's also down to if you're using higher intent, the number of fields you're using, and if you've got a follow-up funnel in place as well. So if you are using lead form ads, I recommend kind of doing a sort of a follow-up funnel or sort of SMS campaign as well. So once you've, and you want to split test both. I think with landing pages, obviously people have got to uh, have an extra click, and effectively they've got to intently fill the information in, and they're more likely to remember they've done it. Whereas I'm sure we've all seen on Facebook when someone actually fills out a lead form when you contact them, they say they don't remember doing it. They have a whinge. They even start being abusive, and that's because they haven't actually had to leave Facebook to get to that point as well. So you want to test both. The I suppose the other option is looking at quizzes, especially on both lead form ads, messenger bots, and landing pages, is actually using quizzes to pre-qualify people a lot more before you ask for their personal information. So a quiz actually is a good example of uh, qualifying people through and asking a load of questions before they have to commit to giving their personal information. It's probably the only exception where you can get away with asking for a lot. Okay, the next step is your funnel. So typically we 9 out of 10 times we probably would run sort of ads to a cold audience, but you could obviously run them to sort of retargeting traffic, or even kind of uh, retarget based on video views as well. So your funnel will also have a good consideration, because if you want people to jump through 3 or 4 hoops, if you like, before they come to lead gen, they're going to be warmed up, and you can get away with asking for little bits of information because you know they have gone through a certain number of steps to get to that point. And the the final point I want to make is your sales funnel. So I know it's very tempting to ask all the questions under the sun, and sometimes the information might be required. But always think about your sales funnel. What is the bare minimum you need from them to get them to opt in? Because you may having too many fields, you may put off a lot of people, whereas actually you may only need their name and email initially, and then get the additional information sort of later on in their sales funnel too. So there is a lot to test, and as you all know, with Facebook ads, you have to test a lot of it. And I think the recommendation I always start with is go for kind of name, email, and phone number if it's needed. It may be asked between 1 and 3 questions, and just test kind of all those different options and really see, because you may find that actually asking for less information to get the conversation started is fine. And you could also kind of get further information later on based on action or inaction through your campaign as well. I hope this sort of video helps. I'd love to know what works for you, or if you have any questions on it, and I'll speak to you soon.